What's up? I know the title sounds insane, I know what you're thinking, but hear me out because I'm not here to tell you to hate your mother, I'm not here to tell you she's evil or that she does not love you. She probably loves you more than anyone, and this is exactly the problem. If you grew up without a father figure or with a father who was physically present but completely checked out, then your mother became the dominant voice in your life. She was one who shaped how you see the world, how you respond to pressure, what you believe about risk, pain, about what you're capable of. And I want you to think very carefully about the nature of the advice she gave you, because here is the pattern, and I've seen it in too many times to ignore it. Almost every piece of advice a mother gives her son is designed to keep him comfortable. Not because she's trying to hold you back, not because she wants you to fail, but because comfort is how she expresses love. Protecting you from pain is how she shows she cares, and that instinct in a mother in general is completely natural. It is beautiful even, but it is poison for a man. Because here is the brutal reality of how growth actually works. Every single thing worth having in life lives on the other side of discomfort. The body you want, built through pain, through sessions where you don't feel like being there, through eating amounts that make your stomach revolt, through showing up when every part of you wants to stay home. The business you want to build through rejection, through calls that go nowhere, through months of work that produces nothing visible, through the grinding seasons where quitting will be so much easier. The respect you want in a room, earned through confrontation, through the moments where you hold your ground when everything in you wants to fold, through the slow, uncomfortable process of becoming someone who cannot be dismissed. And none of that is comfortable, and none of that will ever be comfortable. And a voice that tells you to stay comfortable, no matter how loving that voice is a voice that is pointing you away from everything you actually want. That is the soft advice trap, and most men raised without a father figure are deep inside it without even knowing it. Now let me give you the most common version of this that I see. You want to go to the gym, maybe you've been thinking about it for a while, maybe you have already started and you're trying to stay consistent, and one day you're tired, not feeling it, you're on the fence and you ask your mother,
Mom, I don't feel like going today, shall I still go?
and she says, and I promise you she says this with complete love,
No, stay home. Don't force yourself. Rest. What's brutal isn't good for you. Listen to your body.
and something in you excels because you wanted permission to stay home and she gave it to you. And across town there is another guy, same age as you, same tiredness, same lack of motivation, and he doesn't ask anyone, he just goes. That guy surpassed you today, not by much but by something, and if you do this again tomorrow, ask, get permission to rest, stay home, he surpassed you again. And the next day, the next week, and 6 months from now, you look in the mirror and wonder why nothing has changed while he's standing in a body he built one uncomfortable session at a time. This is not hypothetical, this is happening constantly to thousands of young men who have been trained to seek comfort instead of growth. And now, let me tell you a real story. A few months ago, I was out with some friends of a friend, people I didn't know that well, and we started talking about the gym, and I asked one of them when was he going to start training, and he said,
I don't know if I will. My mother said it's dangerous. She said people have broken bones, injured themselves, that it could put my life at risk.
I looked at him and said, bro, sometimes you have to go against what she says in order to evolve. And he got quiet, and then he said,
I don't know. If I talk back to her, I don't even know what will happen.
and I asked about his father, what did his father think about the gym, and he said,
My stepdad will agree. He'd be fine with it, but if my mother does not approve something, he doesn't push it. Just he lets it go.
I sat with that for a moment because what he described is one of the most common and most damaging dynamics in a household without strong masculine leadership. The father, even when he's present, has been so thoroughly overridden by the emotional authority of the mother that his logical perspective never actually reaches the son, and the son is left with one voice, one perspective, perspective, one set of values shaping every decision he makes. Soft, comfortable, safe, and completely insufficient for the life he's trying to build. I want to make something very clear before we go further. I'm not saying they are bad, mothers are bad. I'm not saying they are your enemy. I'm not saying you should disrespect or dismiss the woman who raised you.
I mean, in some cases, they are evil.
What I'm saying is this: they think emotionally and fathers think logically, and both of those things are necessary. Both of those things have their piece. But the problem is when only one of them is present. When a mother's emotional thinking is the only input a young man receives, when there is no logical, risk-tolerant, growth-oriented masculine voice to balance it, the result is a young man who has been optimized for emotional safety at the expense of actually development. And mothers worry, that's their nature, that's part of what makes them incredible parents. But worry, when it becomes the dominant filter through which a young man sees the world, becomes a cage. They are like, the gym is dangerous, that business idea is too risky, what if something goes wrong, just stay home, be safe, be comfortable. Every one of those sentences is spoken from love, and every one of them, if listened to consistently, produces a man who is afraid of his own potential. A father, a real one, a present one, thinks differently. He sees his son struggling, and instead of removing the struggle, he says,
Good, get through it.
he sees his son wanting to quit, and instead of giving permission, he says,
You don't quit, figure it out.
he sees his son being tested, and instead of protecting him from the test, he prepares him to pass it. That is what we were supposed to have. That is what most of us did not get, and so we have to find it somewhere else. Through mentors, through the right voices online, through videos like this one, through deliberately seeking out this perspective that our upbringing failed to provide. But the first step is recognizing what has been missing, and recognizing that the voice you've been listening to, however loving, was not built to take you where you need to go. So let me paint you a very specific picture of where the self-advice leads. Not at 16 or 80, but at 30. Imagine this. You're 30 years old, you still live at home, or you left, but you might as well not have. Every decision still gets filtered through what your mother thinks. You have not built a body, you haven't built a business, you haven't built anything, because every time the discomfort started, there was always a voice telling you it was okay to stop, you're still gaming, still in the same cycle of instant gratification you were in at 16, still waiting for someone to change without being willing to go through what change actually requires. And you bring a girl home and she has to meet your mother, and something in her eyes tells you what she's thinking, and you know it even if she never says it. This is not a hypothetical I invented. Just go to YouTube right now and search 30-year-old virgin TLC and watch what that looks like in real life. Watch the men who follow the soft path all the way to its conclusion. That's where this road ends. And I'm not saying it to mock those men. I'm saying it because I want you to see the destination clearly enough that you chose a different direction now, while you still have time, while the window is wide open, and the gap between where you are and where you could be is still closable. Because here's the thing, and this part surprised me when I realized it. If you take the soft advice, your mother will eventually be disappointed by you too. Not because she wanted you to fail, but because somewhere underneath all the comfort and all the protection, she wanted you to become a man. She wanted you to look at her son and feel proud of what he built. She wanted to see him standing on his own 2 feet, strong, capable, respected. And the advice she gave you, that one, comfortable, the safe one, did not produce that man. But if you go against it, against her advice, if you push through the discomfort, build the body, the business, become someone who cannot be ignored, she will look at you differently. She will respect you differently, even if she disagreed with every step you took to get there, because results speak louder than advice. Always. Now, Let me tell you what my life will look like if I had kept listening. I will not have started this self-improvement journey because the first time I mentioned the uncomfortable things, discipline, you know, idea of becoming a better person, the response was soft. Be careful, don't overdo it, you're fine as you are. I will not be eating the way I eat now because every time I push past comfortable portions, every time I ate to the point of real fullness to actually gain weight, the response was, you're eating too much, that's not healthy, slow down. I will not have started this channel because putting yourself out there, saying things that are controversial, building something from nothing, none of that is comfortable. And comfortable was the only option on the table. And where will I be? Still playing with the Rubik's Cube, still playing, you know, Roblox as an obsessed guy, still at 15 kilograms, still the guy that nobody takes seriously in a room, still unhappy in the specific way that only comes from choosing comfort over growth for so long that you have forgotten what we're actually capable of, or what you are actually capable of. I will be suffering, but in the comfort zone, and that is the worst kind of suffering because it does not even feel productive. It just feels like slow, quiet decay. Instead, I chose the other kind of suffering, the kind that builds something, the kind that hurts in the morning and shows the results in 6 months, the kind that is uncomfortable every single day and meaningful in a way that comfort never could be. And the difference in my body, mindset, and how I move through the world is not subtle, it is everything. So let me be clear one last time. Your mother isn't your enemy. She loves you, probably sacrificed more for you than you will ever fully understand, but her love, the way she expresses it, the advice it produces, is not the blueprint for a man you're trying to become. You need pressure, you need risk, you need this voice to say go anyway when every comfortable instinct says stay home. You need the perspective that sees your discomfort not as something to be eliminated but as something to be used. Just find that voice, whether it's a mentor, a community, a channel, book, find it and listen to it as deliberately as you've been listening to the comfortable one. And the next time you're on the fence about going to the gym, about making the call, about doing the hard thing, don't ask for permission, just go and just embrace that discomfort. I hope this made your life at least 1% better, and see you the next time.